Chosen one, this message has found you at the exact moment it was meant to. There are no accidents, no coincidences. This is divine timing at its finest. You were led here because within you lies something extraordinary, something powerful, waiting to rise. The very things that were once stolen from you are about to return, multiplied, and it's all unfolding as part of a greater plan. Your time is now. You've been through battles that no one saw. You've endured betrayal, loss, isolation, and silence. Not because you were weak, but because you were being refined. Everything that was taken from you, time, energy, love, money, peace, opportunities, was never lost in vain. What was stolen from you wasn't forgotten by God. The universe kept the receipts. And now, the time of restoration has arrived. But not just restoration, multiplication. This isn't just a return. This is a divine rebound. You're not getting back what you lost. You're getting back more than you can carry. Let's break this revelation down into 7 sacred chapters so you can feel it, see it, and prepare for it. But before we dive in, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, because this is a message every chosen one needs to hear. If you feel the power of this revelation stirring within you, drop the number 77 in the comments. This isn't just a number. It's a divine sign that you are aligned with the abundant blessings about to be returned to you, multiplied. Only those who are truly chosen will stay until the end, and those who do will unlock deeper wisdom, sharpen their spiritual awareness, and embrace the overflow of blessings that are being released to you. And remember, this knowledge will unfold layer by layer. Re-watch this message as many times as needed to align your mind, body, and spirit with the divine truth being revealed. Each time you return, you'll uncover something new, something vital that you may have missed before. Your harvest is on its way. Chapter 1: The Silent Theft Chosen One. There were moments in your life when things were stolen without a single sound. No alarm bells, no witnesses, no closure. It didn't happen through a break-in or a public scandal. It came in whispers, in shadows, in places where your guard was down. Theft doesn't always come with force. It can come dressed as love, disguised as friendship, masked as opportunity. Some of the biggest losses in your life came from people who smiled in your face while slowly draining your soul. They pretended to care, but they were siphoning your energy, your confidence, your peace. You gave freely, your love, your trust, your time, because your heart was pure. You weren't foolish. You were faithful. You weren't weak. You were willing. But they didn't understand that kind of light, so they tried to dim it. They saw your empathy as a weakness, your generosity as naivety. Your light stirred something uncomfortable in their darkness, so instead of honoring you, they tried to silence you. Some of what was stolen wasn't even physical. Your innocence was taken when you were too young to protect it. Your joy was taken by environments that were too toxic to breathe in. Your dreams were crushed by words that cut deeper than blades. You're not enough. Who do you think you are? And in many moments, even your identity was stolen as you tried to survive in places that rejected your truth. And then there were the systems that failed you, the opportunities you earned but never received, the positions you were qualified for but were overlooked, doors that never opened because you didn't fit their mold. You were passed over, ignored, overlooked. And every time that happened, a little part of your heart chipped away, but you kept going. And let's not forget the sabotage from within. The part of you that was programmed to play small, that doubted your worth because the world didn't affirm it, that gave up on yourself before even starting because fear whispered louder than faith. But here's the divine truth. Every act of betrayal, every stolen moment, every hidden wound, it didn't go unnoticed. The heavens were watching. The spirit realm recorded every injustice. Your tears were not wasted. They were counted. The universe doesn't forget energy. It echoes it. And while they thought they got away with what they took, God was just collecting interest on your pain. Now, everything that was quietly stolen from you is about to be returned in a public, undeniable, multiplied form. This is your season of divine payback. The silent theft is about to make a loud return, and the sound will shake every place your name was once dishonored. The time of quiet loss is over. Get ready for the loudest restoration you've ever seen. Chapter 2. Divine delay or setup. Let's be honest. There were moments you felt like the heavens had gone completely silent. You weren't just praying. You were pleading. You weren't just hoping. You were holding on by a thread. You fasted with expectation. You cried yourself to sleep with unanswered questions echoing in your soul. You kept showing up, kept believing. You knocked on doors until your knuckles bruised. But still, nothing opened. Still, no breakthrough. Still, the silence lingered. Still, the doors stayed shut, as if the universe had forgotten your address. And in that stillness, in that space between what was promised and what had yet to manifest, the doubts began to whisper. You started to wonder, am I cursed? Did I miss my moment? Why does it work for everyone else, but not me? What more do I have to do to be seen, to be heard, to be chosen? But chosen one, here's the sacred truth. Delay is not denial. And divine silence is not divine absence. Heaven wasn't ignoring you. It was preparing a path that no man, no system, no opposition could take credit for. Because what God is building in your life isn't temporary, it's timeless. It's not just a blessing, it's a blueprint. And some of the most powerful structures take longer to build because they're designed to last. You looked around and saw others being elevated. You watched people with less integrity get chosen. You watched people who didn't put in the work get ahead. And all the while, you were in the shadows, waiting, praying, growing in silence. But what looked like a setback was actually a setup. You saw rejection, but God saw redirection. You saw loss, but God saw liberation. You saw a closed door, but God was building you a whole new structure where you would be the key holder, not just a visitor. You weren't being punished, you were being preserved. God was holding you back from places that couldn't sustain you. He was saying, not yet, not because you weren't ready, but because what's coming needs the matured version of you, the healed version, the elevated, resilient, spiritually fortified version of you. Delay wasn't God's way of forgetting. It was His way of protecting. That person you wanted to build with, their foundation was cracked. That opportunity you begged for, it was beneath your calling. That platform you were chasing, it wasn't equipped to hold the weight of your anointing. Sometimes, God blocks it not to hurt you, but to honor you. Because your value is too high to be placed in environments that don't recognize your worth. And when you're chosen, you don't move on man's timeline. You move by divine appointment. Every no you heard was heaven's way of saying, there's something better. Every delay was a sacred pause, giving you space to evolve, to heal, to receive instructions from the Spirit. What felt like isolation was actually preparation in disguise. The waiting didn't break you, It built you. It taught you how to walk by faith and not by sight. It trained your ears to hear God's whisper in a world full of noise. It strengthened your discernment so that when the door finally opened, you'd know exactly who you were and who you're not. And now, here's the part they don't see coming. What was delayed is about to arrive, but not in its original form. It's coming, multiplied, upgraded, overflowing, because God doesn't just return what was lost. He resurrects, renews, and rewards beyond measure. The opportunity that passed you by before, it's coming back bigger. The relationship that fell apart. You're about to attract people who love you with purity and purpose. The resources you once lacked, now they'll come to you freely because you've been proven faithful in the fire. Chosen one, don't despise the wait, because what's ahead of you is so glorious, so divine, so completely aligned with your soul's purpose that the delay will finally make sense. And when it happens, you won't have to force it, beg for it, or explain it. It will fit, it will flow, and you will know, deep in your spirit, that this was what heaven was preparing you for all along. So if you're still waiting, hold your head high. The delay was never a detour. It was divine design. You weren't forgotten. You were being fine-tuned for favor. And now, the stage is set. The setup is complete. Your time has finally come. Chapter 3, The Hidden Preparation Season. What the world called failure, God called formation. While people saw your struggle, heaven saw your strength. They saw a breakdown, but God saw a blueprint. Chosen one, you weren't just going through it, you were being grown through it. Every betrayal wasn't just heartbreak, it was spiritual sharpening. Every abandonment was divine repositioning. Every tear you cried alone was not sorrow, it was a seed of wisdom, of power, of purpose, of future victory. They thought you were just surviving, but you were being trained for realms most never touch. You were learning how to trust what you couldn't see, how to move in the dark, how to rise when it felt like no one cared. Every heartbreak expanded your emotional strength. Every closed door disciplined your focus. Every silent season purified your motives and taught you to lean on God alone. The people who left weren't meant to stay. They were lessons, not losses. They revealed what your spirit outgrew and what your future couldn't carry. Their absence became your awakening. In your lowest moments, you were being forged in secret. You learned to war in the spirit, to worship while weeping, to hold faith without applause. You discovered your worth wasn't in approval, but in divine identity. The weight you carried in silence became your strength. It wasn't easy, but it made you wiser. Now, you carry a depth that can't be faked, and a power that wasn't handed to you, it was earned. The questions you asked in the dark broke you open, but they also made you holy. You were never forgotten, just hidden. For a time, covered by heaven while you were being transformed. That hidden season wasn't exile, it was elevation. God was protecting what he was perfecting. Had you been revealed too early, they would have mishandled your light and misunderstood your calling. Now, you're ready. What's coming isn't small, it's glory-sized. And for that, you had to be refined, tested, and emptied, so you could be filled with divine instruction and spiritual authority. You were never punished. You were being positioned. Positioned to break cycles, walk in authority, and shift every space you enter. Now, you walk different. You speak from deep places. You discern with clarity because your vision has been purified through pain. You've become what no one expected, a vessel of divine wisdom, a force of unstoppable light, a reflection of what heaven builds in secret. The world didn't see it, but now they will, because the season of hiding has ended, and the season of revealing has begun. Everything you thought was wasted, the time, the tears, the trials, has become the foundation of your legacy. You were never buried, you were planted, and now it's time to bloom, unapologetically, powerfully, publicly. Chapter 4. The Return of What Was Yours. There comes a time in every chosen one's journey when the tide shifts, when the weight of all that was taken starts to move in the other direction. You've spent years losing things you never deserved to lose. People walked out without explanation. Opportunities slipped through your fingers no matter how hard you held on. And you wondered if you were cursed, if maybe you were meant to live life in lack, just barely getting by emotionally, spiritually, and physically. But hear this. What the enemy meant to bury you with, God is using to resurrect you. You weren't buried. You were planted. And now your roots have grown deep. And from that depth, from that pain, from that silence, a harvest is rising. And not just any harvest, your harvest, that relationship that broke your heart and made you question your worth. God is replacing it with one that will speak life into your soul, one that honors your spirit, one that sees your value, not just your usefulness, one that doesn't just love your light, but stands with you in your shadow. That job that passed over you, that career door that slammed shut in your face, that system that failed to recognize your gifts. Those were never your final destination. You were never meant to just fill a space. You were meant to lead, to create, to build something that carries your divine fingerprint. What looked like rejection was divine redirection. And now you're stepping into ownership of your time, your energy, your gifts, and your calling. And let's talk about the peace that was stolen while you were just trying to survive, while you were fighting internal battles no one could see. That peace is coming back. But it's not returning quietly, it's returning with authority, with clarity, with stability. You will feel centered in ways you've never felt before. You will feel grounded, anchored, and clear. Because when God restores peace, it doesn't come like a whisper. It comes like a river. Even the years you thought were gone forever, wasted in wrong relationships, stuck in dry places, held back by fear or delay, God is restoring those too. Joel 2:25 doesn't say he'll give you moments back. It says, I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten. Years, entire seasons. Chosen one, you're not just getting back pieces of what you lost. You're about to receive the fullness of it, multiplied, refined, divine. You are not coming back empty-handed. You are coming back with treasure. You are coming back wiser, deeper, stronger. Everything you lost is returning, but it's coming back upgraded. Your healing will run deeper. Your joy will last longer. Your connections will be purer. Your vision will be sharper. What's returning to your life now isn't just restoration, it's resurrection. Chapter 5. The Law of Divine Compensation. There is a spiritual law written into the fabric of the kingdom, a law that governs justice on a divine level. And that law says this: when the enemy steals from a child of God, he doesn't just return what he took, he repays it sevenfold. Proverbs 6:31 makes it clear. If the thief is caught, he must repay sevenfold, even if it costs him all the wealth of his house. And the thief has been caught. The spiritual attacks, the manipulation, the deceit, the betrayals, the sabotage, the time wasted in confusion, the emotional breakdowns caused by narcissists, liars, and people who pretended to love you. All of it, every single ounce of it, has been recorded. And now that the enemy has been exposed, now that the truth has been revealed, repayment must come. But not just in one area. In every area, your love life, your finances, your mind, your energy, your creativity, your legacy. God is not just making it even, He's multiplying. You see, this isn't just about getting back to where you were. This is about going further than you ever imagined. You're not bouncing back, you're being launched forward. You're not simply recovering, you're being repositioned. God is taking what tried to break you and turning it into the very fuel that's going to elevate you. Every loss becomes leverage. Every heartbreak becomes wisdom. Every delay becomes preparation. And understand this isn't karma. This isn't what goes around comes around. This is higher. This is kingdom law. This is what happens when heaven defends its own. This is what happens when a chosen one stays faithful in the fire. When you refuse to become bitter. When you keep your heart clean. When you continue to pray, to trust, to believe, despite everything. You're about to witness a divine reversal. Tables are turning. The scales are shifting. The ones who thought they had the upper hand, they're about to see you rise. Not in pride, but in power. Not in revenge, but in restoration. You will walk in rooms you were once excluded from. You will be blessed in front of people who doubted you. You will be celebrated in places where you were once whispered about. Not because you forced it, but because God ordained it. Divine compensation is not always loud at first. It starts with shifts inside of you. Peace that can't be shaken. Vision that can't be distracted. Confidence that doesn't come from praise, but from presence. You'll start to see your life align. The right people will appear. The right doors will open. The resources you need will find you. Because the kingdom is moving. And when it moves for the chosen ones who stayed true. This is your payback season. But not in the way the world defines it. This is kingdom payback. Grace payback. Favor payback. The kind that doesn't just bless you, it blesses generations after you. Get ready, chosen one. The return has begun. And the law of divine compensation is now in effect. Chapter 6. Your enemies will witness it. There's something powerful that happens when a chosen one rises after they've been knocked down. It doesn't just change your life, it changes the lives of those around you. It shakes atmospheres. It silences doubt. It rewrites narratives. And one thing you can be sure of is that those who once doubted you, who mocked you, and who took pleasure in your suffering will see your comeback. They will see you flourish in a way they never imagined. Your enemies will have a front row seat to your elevation. God doesn't just bless His chosen ones in secret. No, He prepares a table in front of your enemies. It's not because they deserve to see it. It's because it's a testament to God's faithfulness. It's a way for God to show the world that His hand is upon you. When God blesses you, it's a public declaration of His glory and goodness. It's like a demonstration that His promises are true, especially when it doesn't make sense to those around you. Think about all those moments when you were overlooked, when you were underestimated, when people whispered about your shortcomings, all the laughter at your expense, all the gossip behind closed doors. Those who laughed at your pain will soon be forced to look at your purpose. Those who celebrated your failures will have to witness your success. Your rise will be undeniable, and it will make them question everything they once believed about you. But here's the beautiful thing. You don't need to rub their faces in it. You don't need to boast, because your comeback isn't about proving anyone wrong. It's about proving God right. It's about showing the world that He is faithful. It's about being a living testimony to His mercy and grace. The ones who watched you fall will watch you rise, but they will never be able to explain it. They won't understand how you survived the betrayal, how you overcame the wounds, how you were able to keep your faith when everything seemed to crumble around you. They'll see your elevation, but won't see the secret tears, the late-night prayers, the internal battles you had to fight just to hold on. They will watch as your life transforms in front of their eyes. They will see the favor of God on you, and it will leave them speechless. But you're not here to force their acknowledgement. You're not here for revenge. You're here to carry out your divine purpose, to walk in the calling God placed upon you before the foundation of the world. Your victory is proof that God does not abandon His own. You are walking evidence that no matter how dark the journey gets, God will always bring you through to the other side. The favor of God is on you, and nothing, no lie, no sabotage, no setback, can stop what God has ordained for your life. So let them watch, let them talk, let them wonder. You don't have to explain it to anyone. Your life is a living testimony of what happens when a chosen one stands firm, remains faithful, and trusts the process. Let God show them exactly what He's capable of doing in a life that's surrendered to His will. And when they ask, how did they do it? The answer will be simple. God did it. Chapter 7, Overflow. Because you endured. You may not realize it now, but everything you've been through, everything you've overcome, was not in vain. Every tear you shed, every heartbreak you experienced, every lonely night where you questioned your worth, all of it was building your endurance. You didn't give up. You didn't turn away. You didn't curse God for your pain. You didn't let bitterness take root in your heart. You chose to press forward, even when the road was steep, even when the weight was heavy, even when everything inside of you screamed, I can't go on. But you did go on. You kept moving. You kept trusting. You kept believing. And that is what God sees. Heaven honors your endurance. Heaven sees your faithfulness. Heaven knows the cost of your perseverance. And because you did not quit, because you held on, your reward is coming. And it's coming in the form of overflow. This isn't just about getting back what was stolen from you. This is about stepping into a season of abundance. A season where you not only receive, but you have more than enough. More than enough joy. More than enough peace. More than enough love. More than enough wisdom. And not just for you, but for everyone you come into contact with. You've been through the fire, and now you're coming out refined. The overflow that's coming isn't just for your benefit. It's for the world around you. God has blessed you so that you can be a blessing to others. You will speak words of healing into broken hearts. You will walk into rooms and change the atmosphere with your presence. Doors that were once closed will open for you, not because of anything you did, but because of the grace of God that is upon your life. Your presence will have a magnetic effect because you've endured the process, and that endurance is being rewarded in ways that only God can orchestrate. You're going to find that your influence expands. People will be drawn to you, not just for what you have, but for what you carry. You carry an anointing that has been tested, that has been refined, that has been birthed in the fire. Your very existence will become a testimony of the goodness of God. You will walk in places you never thought you'd be invited to. You will speak in rooms you thought were out of your reach. You will lead with grace, wisdom, and a heart full of compassion, because everything you've been through has prepared you for this moment. And this overflow isn't just about material things. It's about a shift in your spiritual and emotional state. The peace that surpasses all understanding will flood your heart. The joy that can't be stolen will become your constant companion. The clarity you've been searching for will come with ease. Your mind will be sharp. Your purpose will be clear. The distractions will fall away, and you will be able to move forward with a focus you've never known before. Because what was stolen from you wasn't just for your benefit. It was a seed that was planted in the soil of your soul. And now, that seed is blossoming into something far greater than you could have ever imagined. The pain wasn't just pain, it was preparation. The heartbreak wasn't just heartbreak, it was fertilizer for the seeds of greatness that are now growing in your life. And as you step into this new season of overflow, you will realize that it was all worth it. You are not just receiving back what you lost, you are receiving it multiplied, upgraded, refined, divine. So, chosen one, get ready for your overflow. The heavens are about to open, and you are about to walk into a season of abundant blessing. The hard times are over, and your harvest is ready. This is the season of restoration, but not just restoration. This is the season of overflow. Chosen one, hear this deeply. Everything that was stolen from you, whether by the hands of people, the weight of broken systems, or the invisible strikes of spiritual warfare, is not gone forever. Heaven has kept the receipts. And now, there is a divine reversal taking place on your behalf. But know this, it's not coming back to you the same way it left. No, it's returning, multiplied. It's coming back, purified through fire. It's being refined for your elevation. It's being tailored to your divine calling in a way that nothing and no one can deny. The time of spiritual drought is breaking. The season of scarcity is giving way to supernatural overflow. You are entering a chapter where your pain becomes power, your loss becomes legacy, and your wounds, oh, those sacred scars, become windows that allow divine glory to shine through you. Every tear you cried in private has been collected. Every setback that made you question your worth is now being used as a stepping stone for your rise. What was used against you is now being used for you. The very thing the enemy thought would break you has become the foundation that makes you unshakable. Chosen one, you didn't lose, you were being positioned. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. You weren't overlooked. You were being hidden for the right moment. And that moment, it's here. It's now. The return has already begun. You're not just about to receive restoration. You're about to walk into divine recompense. The kind that doesn't just pay you back, it pays you forward. The kind that makes people say, only God could have done that. So get ready. The blessings coming are bigger than the battles you faced. The beauty being birthed in your life is greater than the ashes you sat in. And the promise ahead is louder than the pain behind you. This is your season of return, and it's only just beginning.